What's up, guys? Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. My name's Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And we are joining you just moments after Inter Miami have advanced to the next round of the CONCACAF Champions Cup competition, beating Sporting Kansas City by a score of 3-1 on aggregate 4-1. And it's a victory Tuesday. So how are we all doing? That was a pretty nice, stress-free, relaxing match for once.
Exactly. We had a little bit of everything that you wanted to see. Good defense, which is something that we've been longing for. We had our stars all involved in the attack, with the exception of Busquets. I don't think Busquets was on the scoring end of anything, but we definitely had Alba involved. We had Suarez involved, Messi involved, and a lot of the new additions really shining bright. So this one had a little bit of everything that we wanted to look for, and yeah, we get to advance and on to Jamaica.
Yeah, that was a great match. Like Julio, you said, it's been a while since we've had like just a relaxing win, nothing that we have to keep so uptight until the very last minute. So it was nice to see that. Allende looked great. Messi is in great shape. Since the preseason, he's been in really good shape. But the last two matches, or actually three matches for the regular season, have been on point, man. He's all over the place, head on a swivel, making perfect passes everywhere. And he's just on fire. I said it in the chat, and I'll say here. I said it in the Discord. Sorry for anyone who's not on Discord. Join Discord. I said it there, and I'll say it here so everyone can hear it. This team is better than last year's team, and last year's team we broke records, right? We won the Supporters Shield. We broke that point record. Are we going to do that this year again? I don't know, but on paper, this team is better. We saw tonight the addition of Maxi Falcon. He looked great. He looked like a true center back, something we've been missing for a while. We've added Allende. We've added Segovia. They've looked great on the attack. So this team is dangerous. This team is very dangerous, and tonight was extremely fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where you're looking at the team and you're like, we just jumped on them and we didn't let go. We just continuously just kept pounding them, and nothing they could do. Nothing they could do. Very fun game to watch. Very like Julio said, very relaxing. I was just enjoying my night. Just very peaceful afternoon. Yeah, the fans showed out. We had a nice showing, unlike Kansas City. I hope they took notes on that. And it's funny, we're going into now. I believe we're going Saturday. We're going to play the Houston Dynamo.
Sunday.
Sunday. I looked at game tickets. You know how much they're selling for?
How much?
Over $200. Just a reminder, you know how much Kansas City ticket prices were there in that game? I don't want anybody to give me you're too cold. They're the ones saying, "Welcome to the frozen tundra. You can't escape." So is that what they wrote, David? Is that what you exactly? So I don't want to hear it. How much were those tickets going for, Julio?
7 cents.
Exactly. It says a lot.
Would you have bought a ticket in negative 5-degree weather, whatever it was?
To see Messi, of course. Why wouldn't you?
Anyways,
they're also taunting us before the game, Chris. That's you could go that route and say, "Oh, would you do it?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not the one writing on Twitter. No way out." Okay, what was the aggregate? 4-1.
4-1.
No way out.
Put them in the doghouse.
Who's next?
Jamaican team.
Jamaica.
No way out.
Before we continue this recap, a shout out to our Chief Heron Heads, Chow and Mari V. Thank you for your continued support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you'll find a link in the description wherever you're listening, along with links to the Discord that Chris mentioned and our merch store. So if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, check that out. And a very easy and free way for everyone to help us is to click the like and subscribe buttons. So if you haven't already, please do so. It really helps a lot with YouTube promoting our video and getting more Inter Miami and more Messi fans here in our community. So if you don't mind, please do that. But this match, I mean, honestly, not just this match, but we're talking about outside of Toto's red card in the last match, we're talking about 270 minutes of pretty dominant play from Inter Miami. Really, like, even when we went down to 10 men, we dominated against NYCFC. And in match 1 against Sporting Kansas City, we dominated. Sporting Kansas City was sitting back the whole match, and they had to come out of their shell a little bit more this match because they were chasing, obviously. But really, for the first 3 matches of Mascherano's reign as the manager of Inter Miami, we've seen very dominant football, and I like what I'm seeing. And there, to Chris's point, I think this team overall is better, but Mascherano's really doing a very good job of managing the matches in game.
Agreed. We're not seeing questionable subs or lack thereof like we saw from Tata. Obviously today is different. It was a blowout, but in the last 2 matches he's made very good subs. His style of player, his tactics they just make more sense for the personnel that we have out on the pitch. And we've seen it, man. The attack is strong. Even the defense before Maxi Falcon was out there, the defense had been playing pretty good as well. So we're seeing a lot of different things from Mascherano, and it's working. It's working. He has Suarez and Messi up top as the 2 strikers, and he has that 4-4-2 formation going. And like I said, it just works for the personnel that we have out there. Our midfielders are very strong. It allows Suarez and Messi to kind of just roam at the top, do their thing. Suarez isn't isolated by himself, so he doesn't have to do too much. We all know, obviously, he's athletic. Obviously, he's just has that pedigree. He's one of the greats to do it, but he's older. His knees aren't the same. So being alone on that island all the time, I think, affected him sort of last year, even though he had his goals, he had his assists last year. But he seems more comfortable playing with Messi together up there, and kind of you see him roaming out to the left sometimes, which is where he got the assist to Messi. So you see him kind of just being a little more creative, I think, with this formation. So it's just nice to see the different tactics that Mascherano brings that we were kind of just so overseeing Tata's tactics and Tata's lack thereof of any game plan, of any substitution. So it's a breath of fresh air with Mascherano so far, I will say.
Also, you have a full complement of a roster that really gives you the opportunity to make like smart subs, because before we didn't have such a complete roster with all that depth. So being able to, today we subbed off, what was it, both of our starting center backs, and we had compliments for both of them. Like Noah Allen's really stepped up his game in the defensive side, so Noah Allen's a good sub there, and you have Luhang coming in as a sub, and he's somebody who can play on the outside as well as a wing back position. That's the only position maybe that we don't have a ton of depth other than the striker position, but we have Ian Frey going in all 90 minutes today, since Cello's out with an injury since he suffered last match, and Alba doesn't come off. Alba's an Iron Man. This guy just never comes off. As long as he's not under some kind of yellow card accumulation or anything, he's going to be out there. And yeah, we have to be careful with Suarez. He does look like he's laboring out there. Last season he looked like he was laboring. This season he just looks like he's like sapped of all athleticism. And the goal he scored today, which I wouldn't say he out-athleted somebody, but he definitely out-muscled the guy, and that's what it was. It was pure physicality there, and you'd love to see that. But that's a spot that we're gonna need help, and I know we have a signing coming in. I don't think it's going to be for this window. I think it's the next window for the summer window, but it's Ovando. So we'll see what we can kind of tinker and mess around at that spot. That's the only spot really that you have to kind of maybe play somebody out of position until we have true reinforcement at that striker spot. But other than that, and it is a breath of fresh air seeing your manager make sensible substitutions. And yeah, it's it's something that shouldn't be overly praised, but we've been experiencing the last 2 seasons. It's something that we have to.
I think also though it's like you've said before, Dave. Like we have a nice complement of players, right? Where I don't know if we've had that in the past. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I thought that would have changed anything, because I don't think he would have. I think that's just his style of managing. I think he just wants to ride guys out until like, okay, this didn't work, And by then we already lost or won, and it was decided. But I just it's nice because we have a nice balance to the team. You know, do I know, or do any of us know if anybody's gonna reach the level of Gomez? We may not need it, right? Because everybody else is upgraded in a bunch of different locations that perhaps, you know, really Falcon right away for me is the best center back that we would have had last year, right? Just the way he plays, it just seems like he has a nice command of that position back there, and it helps because, you know, Toto's is good in his own right, you know. So you have Toto and Falcon back there. It's gonna be a nice pairing.
I agree, and yeah, I think it's not just like you keep sort of saying replacing Gomez, but because of the systematic change of how we play now, we kind of don't have to replace Gomez one for one, because now Messi's central, and that has unlocked so much more. Allende on the right wing and Segovia kind of on the left-hand side. It really opens up a lot for everyone. Like the offense seems very hard to stop and hard to contain because of Messi's positioning in the middle of the field. And I think that really lessens the blow of Gomez leaving, because, yeah, across the board, like the level of the team seems to be heightened despite the loss of Gomez, who had a wonderful game today for Brighton, by the way. But yeah, Falcon really shined tonight in his opportunity to get the start. And alongside Toto had a good game. Nothing like he had a good game because nothing went bad. And it was just a serviceable game, didn't get beat, made a couple tackles and didn't get a card, even if he only played not 65, 70 minutes. But yeah, Falcon, I mean, how could you not be impressed with the performance he put in tonight? And hopefully that's a pairing that becomes consistent and stout.
Like
but
I did a header while someone was kicking full on. Just
I love it. I feel like when you have hair like that, you sort of have to have a little bit of like cuckoo energy to you.
It's just
what you did there.
He dove head first into a guy who's just about to power kick into the net. You know, he's like, no,
I love it.
Like just a big ball, just like erased the whole goal from that little angle.
I can picture him. I can picture him celebrating in the locker room with champagne just flowing off of the hair, just doing crazy antics like Cucurella with Spain. Like you just see that same type of energy once they come away with some kind of win.
He made some great saves today, man. He saved one goal by himself, standing there next to Ustadi. That was bad position, but he made some great saves tonight. He looked very, very solid. And props, I just mentioned Ustadi. Props to Ustadi too, man. He's outplaying Calendar's play last year.
Yeah. The goal was not his fault.
No, I don't think Calendar finds his way back onto the pitch unless it's like a rest day for Ustadi. Mm-hmm. And Ustadi's older, so he might be entitled to a rest day. We're in 4 active competitions at the same time, so it makes sense to have a rotation there a little bit. But I think this was almost another clean sheet for him, and it's just the command and how many times you see him making easy passes and aerial passes, which is something that that Drake just cannot do, and he's able to just pop it over the nearest attacker and put it into the next guy. So like it's just something that we haven't had. That component for Drake is non-existent.
People would try and hone in on us, right? Remember whenever they were trying to get on our back line, it was just like,
it was a win if they got the ball back to Drake. And now with Ustadi, you just feel so much more comfortable. And it like Miami wants to play that way. They want to be able to play around the back, pass it back to the goalkeeper, and have him sort of command that first line of press and be able to break it. And before, Drake would run out of option A, and his next option was just boot it down the field wherever. It doesn't matter if anyone's in the zip code, but just get it out of here. And Ustadi has just a much better sense of what to do with the ball at his feet. And yeah, I think it's his to lose. I would be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if Drake started against what's the Jamaican team? Someone
Cavalier
just posted
FC.
it. Yeah,
Cavalier.
Cavalier.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Drake rotated in for that at bare minimum. You have to give him playing time. You have to keep him somewhat fresh, and Cup is usually when that is done. So I anticipate that's the soonest we'll see him, barring injury. But Ustadi's he's looked great, man.
He had, just so you know, he had 80% accurate passing, Ustadi, total, right? And then you put long balls, just strictly long balls. 21 total long balls attempted, 12 of them were accurate.
It makes
What
a
do you
huge
think,
difference.
Like, what do you think that the numbers would swing towards Drake?
Oh, like
We've
3 of
seen it, it's
21.
20%.
Like 3
It's
of 21.
It's always been 20% accuracy.
Yeah.
You have 80%. I mean,
No,
that's
it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. And with Suarez, like he's coming back a little bit more, especially on the left-hand side, but when he's holding up play at the very top, it's a very difficult pass to connect. So it's like the mid-range ball from Ustadi sort of dropped into the midfield that really beats the press effectively and allows Miami to then, start going and get into attack on the run rather than playing around. It allows us to get in motion, which is where pretty much all the goals came from. It wasn't like a stagnant play. It was kind of a little bit of a break, and that's how the goals came to be.
Speaking of goals, Suarez today, beautiful little how he strengthened and got just got behind the defense on that little miscue. I loved it. It makes us think though, right? Like we've all kind of been talking about would he have done anything like if it wasn't for that play, if it wasn't for the assist, which I would love to get into, because that assist and shot by Messi was out of control. What do you think? What are you guys thinking with Suarez? Are you thinking he's? Are you worried about him, or do you think he's going to be fine?
He's gonna be fine because he can do a shot like what he did tonight. But generally, like there's gonna be a lot of matches that you're very frustrated with him because he's not gonna beat anyone one-on-one. He's not gonna he tries to get him behind, but his timing's very off. Like when he tries to go behind, he's constantly offside. There was even a play where I think Allende had it on the right, and Suarez was running in, and he was like 3 yards offside, and then upset when Allende couldn't get the ball to him, but he would have been offside anyways. So things are like I don't want to say they're deteriorating, but things are not clicking 100%.
There is a play that he was actually leading literally.
Oh, that one was awful.
The ball just fell off of him. Yeah, it was.
Which that one I feel like is more his style in the stage of his game right now, right? Where let's say your athleticism is falling behind, he's gonna be able to bully people. That guy's as strong as an ox. That's one thing I think we can hang our head on that he's gonna be good at. He's got very good IQ, very good intuition. He understands where Messi wants him. He's that part I think he's gonna always have. I think as his athleticism goes, though, he's going to have to be a little bit better on the ball so that he can distribute when Messi's not around, right? Because that happened actually when Messi was subbed off.
Yeah, so I think that play specifically, he had it's almost like he had too many options, and he didn't know which one to pick, and then he just fumbled it. I agree. It's good that we have so many options, but you have to capitalize on it and make the play, and he simply didn't. And yeah, just to answer the question, I just think without the goal, it would have been another frustrating night. But there's going to be a lot of times where he's able to make the shot that he made tonight, make the pass that he made tonight to Messi, and then it really, like, the other 80 minutes don't matter. They simply don't matter.
Yeah, we have enough talent that we can survive Suarez's lapses as long as he's able to execute from time to time. There's enough talent on that offensive side that we're going to overcome. It's not like his lapses are not going to occur on the back line. That's going to lead to opposing goals. Like that would be devastating. But the way that he plays, we can work with that. That's not something that's going to hurt us in the long run as much. Now, if he picks up a knock or something, that again, the lack of depth of that position is really gonna hurt us. But we kind of knew we knew what we're getting ourselves into. He's going to be used very similar to the way he was used last season. He's a point person. You're not going to really blaze by anybody with him by any means. He's not going to be leading a counter attack or anything like that. But if the ball finds him in the box, there's a good chance that he's going to do the right thing with it. But yeah, I mean, it's the same. I think it's very similar to what we saw from him last season. It's just it feels like he's even lost an additional step from what he had last year.
Yeah, and I think Mascherano obviously knows that, and that's why he's kind of going out with that 4-4-2. We have the athleticism in the midfield to do it. With Allende now, you see him flying up the right side constantly. We have Segovia on the left side as well. Alba's always flying up on the left side too. So we have that athleticism to really push up from the midfield and from the wings. That Messi and Suarez could kind of stay up and do their thing up in the box, and we saw it tonight. We saw it twice tonight, really. Obviously, one was more of a gift to Suarez, but we saw it twice tonight. I think that's really the style of play that we're going to be seeing this season until, like David says, we get that the striker Obanda.
I think it's Obando.
Obando. Until we get him in later on in the season. So maybe when he comes in, we're going to see a different style of play. Maybe he'll be alone in the striker position up there. Who knows? But for now, I think that's kind of the style of play we're just going to be seeing. But hey, it's working right now. Our attack looks dangerous, very, very dangerous out there.
Yeah, and Obando's very young, so like we don't know how raw he's gonna be. We don't know, but yeah, like Suarez can still pull magic because as much as it was a gift to gain possession, there was a lot of work to be done on that shot,
Right.
and he still tidied up quite a bit. But Jose, you sort of alluded to it. He had a fantastic assist on the Messi goal, which was
I was gonna say I was gonna bring that up again with Matt, like basically man of the match.
Mhm.
We can go into it.
Let's dive right in.
All right, man of the match. Who do you guys have? Obviously,
Suarez.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's kind of a three.
It's a three-way. You could say it. It's a three-way.
It's a three-way.
I'm gonna
I
say
think Suarez.
Suarez,
Yeah.
Messi, and
Allende.
No, it's Messi, Suarez, and Alba. 7.8, 7.8.
say
Alba,
Alba.
7.7.
I was gonna say Alba. Yeah, he played pretty good today.
Yeah, I mean, just solid. Just the thing is, nobody stood out like crazy. It's just solid. I mean, okay, Messi kind of
Messi's
stood out.
contributions were spread out, and Suarez didn't run away
Right.
with it because his play was so up and down.
yeah.
He had an opportunity. He had the most opportunity, I would say.
Right. No, he had a goal and an assist, but because he had, I mean, his limitations, it really pushes his grade down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a little bit of we saw the last game too, because he had a possible goal as well.
Yeah, I mean, the goal by Messi, I don't think we should like just glaze over it a little bit, but
Should not.
or
No,
gloss over it.
So it
But-
started off on the left. Well, it was on the left side, right? It was Suarez.
you got it.
He gave a nice little flick pass right over the whole defense after you had Allende coming on the right flank, basically bringing the whole defense to crashing on the goalie, and then on the goalkeeper, and then all of a sudden you see just Messi just appear on the screen because the screen had just like spanned all the way to just on the goal area, and just like nobody saw that. Oh wait, top of the pitch, we have Messi right there. Boom! It just it hit the. I think it hit his chest, it hit the
Yeah.
floor, and then
Mhm.
back of the net.
And I
We
thought
saw
the
it
defender
control.
was going to get back. I thought the defender was going to get back in time, but he kind of
Behind
let up.
crashing.
One
They were
behind him.
crashing him from,
Yeah,
from
he
the from the
kind of
front and
let up
behind.
to not foul, and Messi just absolutely
Killed-
put it
killed it.
away. It was
Oh.
so good.
And you
It
saw the
happened so
goalkeeper. The
quickly.
goalkeeper thought it was going far post for sure, and then he just brought it inside the near post. It's just mind games. Messi not only is he a physical specimen that can smack the ball that hard and curve it, but also the fact that he's a heady player and really is just getting in the goalkeeper's mind like that. That's just it's so we're very 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 fortunate to be able to,
It's
to
like
call
in the
him on.
last game, and remember the last game we had Redondo in the kind of a similar situation, right, where he was at the top of the
Kind
key.
of.
He was in the top,
Yeah.
like there, just right on the same little area. And I was looking, I was like, I would have rather been Messi there,
Oh,
just
of course.
Always.
just we had that guy, and it would have been, I think it would have tied the game at that point.
Yeah, he caught it so clean though. It's always so satisfying when you see. And I'm just glad, again, I'm glad the defender pulled up because he would have robbed us of what was a spectacular goal. And honestly, the pass from Suarez really good. I mean, he saw Messi from a long way out And at first when he hit it, I thought that seems like too much trajectory for what we're trying to do here. But it was right on target, and he dropped it into where no defenders were. Granted, the defense from Sporting Kansas City tonight was pretty bad generally, but we also put a lot of pressure on them to sort of force these gaps and force this space. And Messi, I mean, he did what only the best can do.
We had a bunch of plays into the box that were just off, or they just didn't connect to the last player. So as bad as they were, yes, they kept finding themselves in dangerous positions, but they did a decent job of getting in the way of some of these last passes. So when I did see that pass from Suarez, I was like, man, because all of them have been pretty much just ground passes. When I saw the flare up, I'm like, there's no way anything's going to come from this. But yeah, that back line overcommitted so much to Allende because they all expected the low cross, and it was, you just know that they're all crashing, and when they all turn around and see Messi just what seems like acres of space, you know that their hearts just sank. Like, oh crap, here we go. And
yeah. The two plays that when you said that they're in the box that they just barely made it, two plays that come to my head and to my mind is the Allende to Segovia. That Segovia just slightly missed the goal right there, and then the second one was that awesome interplay between Messi and Segovia again. That it was perfect threaded needle to Segovia from Messi, and then another perfect pass to Messi, and it got blocked or whatever. But
Messi kicked it right at the keeper in that time.
And man, those two very high chances. Jose? Since I don't know if you have SofaScore on, what was our XG?
Our XG.
Gotcha.
You did. You did, buddy.
Well, I'd like to talk about the second goal because the second goal brought me a lot of joy when watching the replay over and over. And Jordi Alba played the ball across the net, and Allende just tapped it in. And it was glorious because the timing of the run behind the defenders by Allende was so well timed. Jordi Alba was so pumped after Allende scored. He kicked the little like marquee board behind the goal and then like pumped his fist at Allende because he's like, you did what I had in my mind. And it was so satisfying to watch when, like, if you go back and watch it, the defenders are dropping towards the net. And then right when Allende decides to go and push forward, the defenders step up, and the timing couldn't have been better. And you can see the like release of emotion from Jordi Alba that someone actually was on the same page as him. It was so good. Jose, XG?
Find it, Jose?
Who's the least of the match?
Julio just bought you some time, dude.
I can do the least of the match that I have. I'm looking for the XG. For some reason I can't find it. I don't know.
Segovia.
I'm gonna find it in 2 seconds.
Least of the match.
6.4.
Wait.
Segovia.
We all have
Segovia. He won. That's it. There's nothing else to talk about. Segovia.
What was Redondo? I feel like he didn't really have a great game either.
That's who I was gonna guess.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna guess. That's why I asked. But of course, he doesn't have it either. Jesus,
unbelievable.
Every question I have for you today,
he's trying to find the.
He's giving me like the questions that are hard. 7.4.
The questions that are hard.
What'd you say?
7.4
for Redondo.
Oh, that's surprising.
Redondo. Yeah, he didn't have a bad game. Ball possession, we were 50-50, and duels, Miami definitely won 54% Miami, and then 65% tackles won for us as well.
You know who lost the duel? Yannick Bright. He got lacerated. Man, what did he lacerate? I don't understand. It's his leg is lacerated, but how many games is he gonna, like, in my mind, a laceration is a scratch.
But he probably has stitches or something. Who knows?
So?
Probably can't play. But
Stitches?
Maybe stitches on his leg or something, and gets kicked,
get him
open
out
up,
there.
blood
Like-
everywhere. I don't
like-
know.
We keep saying that Redondo is not taking that next step. He's not taking the next step. I think Bright will unlock this club to new heights.
Well, when his
Granted,
laceration
we've been winning.
How do you think? Why do you think that?
Well, because of just the fact that he wins so often on defense, and it helps us in our transition into the attack. I think that's a huge way that he does that. Redondo isn't.
I like him. I just don't know where we'd put him right now. I'm looking at the team.
Start him over Redondo.
Redondo had a good match, though.
He had a good match.
Redondo, 44 for 47
I didn't even
passes.
notice him. At the
He
end
did
of the
very
match,
well, actually.
at the end of the match, I'm like,
goals
oh, he's
won.
still in.
He had a good game.
He had a really good game. He pushed. He was bullying players on defense. Like, he literally bulldozed everybody. It was not called a foul, which is interesting.
These refs.
Toto hates watching it. Well, Toto hated watching today. He's like, this guy's getting away with murder out here. And I do it one time.
These
One
refs
time
came out there
Even
and they forgot to pack
elbow.
their cards. Like there were a few fouls that should have been yellow cards, and they were just like,
Yeah,
Let him play.
100%.
Let him play.
Who was it? Falcon actually out
Yeah.
out on the like way out on the sideline.
he
Tackled
went
the
through
guy
the
from
back.
behind. It
Yeah,
was a
I
very
see it.
Yedlin play, mind you. I've seen Yedlin make that tackle a million times, and he always got a yellow card for it.
Don't ever mention the two in the same breath.
There's going to be a lot of mentions of him in our preview for Houston. Let me tell you.
Nightmares for Jose.
Oh my god. Disgusting.
Where is Yedlin? Is he still in Cincinnati?
Yeah, he is. He's still there for them.
Jose's just so dismissive of him.
Scoff.
Unbelievable.
Hey, how about our boy Ian Frey out in right back taking
What a
over for
dream!
Cello?
Just seeing
Man.
him in the starting card, I was already in a good mood, and that's somebody that I noticed playing the entire match. Up and down too, he had some turnovers too, but just the way he plays the game, again, opens it up for the whole team. Like he plays solid enough defense, he hounds guys, he can win one-on-one matchups, and then he has those transitory skills where he can really take the ball up and open things up for the rest of the team. So that's something that you just don't get from Cello. And I understand you want to manage his minutes because of all the injuries, but it's a shame because I think that the ceiling is just so much higher for Ian Frey.
What's crazy about Frey is that they were baiting him. I feel like they were baiting him to try and I guess they were trying to get some sort of turnover out of him at some point, and they were just expecting him to pass it back, right? And there's one play that he just like kind of fake pass and just went and just completely took him on the right flank.
If they leave the space for him to run, he's going to run
Gladly,
because that's what so many of these clubs are doing is that they're man marking Messi, and then there's a bunch of space in between them, and the wisest thing to do is just take the ball up the pitch and force somebody to come off Messi.
He gives us
such a smooth dribbler. It's beautiful when he has the ball on his feet. It's just in and out of defenders, and he makes the right plays or the right moves, I guess, to get around the defender and get to the right player up top.
He's justifiably confident on the ball, whereas Cello is unjustifiably confident on the ball because he also feels like he has these skills, which unfortunately he doesn't have, and that gets him in trouble when he's moving up the pitch. Defensively, I have no issues with Cello.
Not too bad. Not too bad though. Like he hasn't been caught too many times. As many times as we think.
Not this season because of the I think the system in play isn't really forcing him up as much.
Right.
But we've seen him plenty of times take the ball up and look lost or do just nothing effective. And while the few times that Frey has had the opportunity to do so, it's been amazing.
Our two backs right now can straight up move the ball up the pitch. Our left back and our right back. Alba. Alba and Frey, when they're in together, amazing to watch. Then you have Falcon today. Almost Falcon punched a goal in today. You remember that play? He just missed it, but Alba almost had himself a baller assist. Did you guys notice that one? He just flicked it in there. You just saw the hair just almost like the hair was in the net. He just whipped it. You had that play, and then obviously you have Toto, which it's either a red card or a goal for him this year.
Well, he got neither in this match.
And he got both last match. So it's not either or. It could be anything.
Yeah.
All or nothing.
Or all and everything. Nothing and everything.
Nader Sanchez says, I think this Inter Miami team will still get destroyed by Monterrey again. Defense is still a problem, and Suarez needs to lose a few pounds. I don't
think it's a weight issue with Suarez.
Yeah, it's not a weight issue. It's his knees.
Well, no, maybe.
But the first portion, the first piece of that comment, I don't know. I don't know if the defense is still that big of a problem. We've seen some good defensive matches this season so far. Again, the season's young; it's only 3 matches, but they've played pretty good, and I think our attack is stronger than last season. So I think we could give Monterrey a run if we run into them again at some point.
And last match, yes, we had defensive lapses, but we're playing a man down the majority of the game. So
Exactly.
Where would that game be at?
Oh, this is a hypothetical game.
It's
We don't-
hypothetical.
Oh, in a hypothetical game.
No,
if
what's
it's
the XG of this game, Jose?
I don't know. Hypothetically
Jesus
speaking, it was probably 3-1.
There you go.
Not bad.
Hypothetically
You heard it here
You,
first.
yeah, you heard it. Follow for more great content.
right? And hypothetically
Probably
speaking, in a Monterrey match that is in Miami, for example, why not? They wouldn't. I don't think we get destroyed.
I don't think so. I think we're a much better team. So I think it's a better
Yeah,
matchup.
and our defense in general now is much more athletic across the board. And before, a big problem was just the lack of athleticism on the back line.
Yeah, you have old man Kristoff chasing these guys. Yeah,
Ugh.
destroyed.
Old
Every
man
time I hear
Kristoff
that.
was younger than all of us on this podcast. Rough.
Rough.
Is that so?
It's so.
It's very slow.
Yikes!
Yep.
We're real older.
I don't want to hear that name. He's not on the team anymore. I do not want to hear that name. Please, thank you. Goodbye.
Young man Kristoff.
Lucky for Chris, we'll talk about Yedlin a lot more in the
Yes.
preview, and not Christoph.
Yes. Damn, Jose, I'm looking for XG as well, and I can't find it.
I don't know why I couldn't find this.
That's
It's
so weird.
It might be
You
because
just-
of the competition instead of it being
Maybe.
MLS. Sometimes it can get finicky.
Maybe. It's so weird.
Go on
We must have had
FS2.com.
quite
It's
a
usually
quite
the
a bit
first
of
thing I
XG.
mentioned.
Yeah, you do love your XG.
I love actually, yeah. That in possession.
Yeah, but anyone else stand out for you guys? I mean, I feel like we covered just about all the players that were on the pitch. I thought the subs were very good when they came on. I don't have like the passing gets sloppy at the end of the match, but we're also just defending and sort of just clearing it.
Game was over also. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Yeah, but you don't
almost
wanna
felt like
blow
it
it
was
either.
over and we were treating it that way.
But the subs, it's the beauty of the young guys that we have, like we're able to bring Kramaski off the bench, Ruiz off the bench. You have all these young guys that we've always said that these are the guys who need to come off and bring the energy off the bench. So that's been great. And even Luhang's still a younger player. You have what's his face, the little guy, Noah Allen coming in there. Like you do have all these guys
The
who
captain.
coming
That's,
at
I was just gonna say that's
Noah Allen is
little guy.
all of a sudden.
Captain Noah Allen to you.
Yeah, you have all these guys coming out there and really bringing that energy. So I mean, they're perfect for that role. So not only do you have more depth, but you actually have a better use for these young players in matches like this. So it's great, and nobody really didn't like. Even sometimes we'd have a substitution, and we're like, oh God, this guy's in. Here we go, watch him. Here comes the laps, and even Robert Taylor got in there and didn't have the big laps. Like I know we were all expecting it, but no, everybody played well. I mean, this match was in hand, so it's easier to play when you're up by that much.
Yeah, and Shoes asked about Mascherano's performance. Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, Shoes, but it's something nice to watch. It's a little bit it's a breath of fresh air when you're seeing that we're making strategic changes throughout the game. I was saying at one point, I was like, Suarez shouldn't be out there. This is way too late, and this guy, it looks like he's not giving us anything. Immediately, he got a turnover, and then right after that, subbed out. So it's good that what the fans are seeing, the manager seems to be watching the same stuff.
He doesn't give the appearance that he's blind to it, like that so many times did. Like
Mhm.
so many times last season, we were like, it's so obvious you need to make a substitute, any substitute, and that would just like, for whatever reason, be extremely stubborn and not make a sub until it was like 10, 15 minutes too late for them to make any sort of impact. So just the validation of getting those timely changes. And again, I think just the setup of the team overall suits the players that we have so much better than how we played last season.
Did you
What
want
is
to talk about that?
I just think it's
About
funny.
what?
I don't know. Somebody posted about Atletico Madrid wanted Toto.
Before Inter Miami got him, but Nader refuses to believe that, and so do I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have signed him maybe as like a prospect, loaned him out to Inter Miami.
Poco bando.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, we'll never know, right?
We will when we sell him for 10 times his worth.
That's right.
I love it.
To Brighton.
No,
Probably.
to Atletico Madrid. They'll be like, oh, we should have gotten him the first time. Here's all our money.
Perfect. So, our next match is against Houston at Houston, and that takes place on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So
Not a good time.
not a good time. The worst possible time.
7 o'clock is so bad.
The worst possible. Even 8 o'clock, I struggle, but
Yeah.
whatever. Figure it out. So we might have a preview out on Thursday. Not 100% sure if we're all available, but tentatively Thursday we'll have a preview out for Houston, Jose's favorite team to talk about. And yeah, what a good night, what a good result. I had like a tiny little bit of nerves entering this match because there was something on the line, but Inter Miami took care of business. Messi sort of got us started, and we never looked back. So luckily, it was a nice.
You were
carefree
nervous.
evening.
You're nervous that Toto was out.
It's true.
That was it.
Toto was
Toto was not
playing
Out on the pitch.
on the pitch.
That's
No,
what
he
Jose
wasn't.
said.
He didn't play today.
Yep.
Of course they
Okay.
played today. Did you not
All
watch
right.
this match?
Well,
Oh, he did. Okay,
Tune,
sorry.
tune into the Heron Heads for more great.
yeah.
content.
Follow us at the Heron Heads
Jesus.
on X, on Instagram, on TikTok.
Wait.
and,
Wait. What do you think about Rojas?
I know what you're talking about.
We're 2 for 2, bud.
Incredible. For more wonderful content, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button. It helps us out a ton. And we'll see you guys during our next stream, whether it's Thursday as a preview for the Houston match or Sunday post-match after the Houston match. But for now, thank you for tuning into the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami, and we'll catch you on the next one.
7.0 match rating. Unbelievable.